Thank you. Good to be here. I'm sitting here looking at this brand new board and getting extremely fired up, looking at my guys with some highlights here against Kent State and Missouri. So we are ready to rock. Like she said, tonight is our first event. It's at home, and it's a can't lose opportunity for us. Okay, wrestle-offs, red and black duel, and I feel really confident in the fact that we've got more interesting matchups this year than we've had in several years in the past. So I feel like there's some really tightly contested bouts in our room. And what happens for that is when we have more competition in our room, that cream rises a little higher to the top. So our starting 10 are going to be extremely tough. And what's really interesting about that is most of the guys challenging for these spots are underclassmen. So between true freshmen, redshirt freshmen, and redshirt sophomores, that's kind of up and down the 10-weight classes contesting for spots. We've got 3 seniors on the team, and they're doing a fantastic job of leading, but 2 of them aren't wrestling in this event right now as they're healing up some injuries. So we've got 1 senior, Andrew Scott, wrestling off at 184, and up and down the lineup everywhere else is basically freshmen and sophomores. But they are really tough kids, very motivated, very intense in their pursuit of that starting role. So we're really excited to see what happens tonight, and we hope to see you guys out there at 7 p.m. in Victor E. Going back a couple months, in June, we competed in freestyle and Greco-Roman wrestling out in Akron at the U23 World Team Trials, and we came away with a world team member. We had a champion out there in Greco-Roman at 67 kilograms named Nolan Baker. He's a local product from Byron, Illinois, and he's going to be representing his country and the United States and the Northern Illinois Regional Training Center out in Romania in a couple weeks here, so that's a big deal for us. So he's doing a fantastic job of that. You won't see him in the wrestle-offs tonight because we're keeping him healthy for that event. What's coming up? Our first official competition after these wrestle-offs tonight will be the Michigan State Open. That's on November 3rd. That'll be out there where we take everybody. We take attached wrestlers, meaning varsity. We take unattached wrestlers. Those will be the guys that are staying in red shirts. So we get a chance to preview all the old guys and the new ones alike, and that'll be a good show, and we think it'll be a really well-attended event. So be a good barometer for where our guys stand heading into season. After that, our first home event is November 17th, and that's a quad match with Utah Valley State, Clarion, and also Harper Community College. So that'll be a good one to get a litmus test for our team. And then a really big one coming up is our home duel December 7th against the University of Illinois. We're going to wrestle that right here in the arena. It's going to be a great show, you guys. We're going to drop the curtains. We're going to black this gym out, have spotlight entry. We're going to have a Big Ten team in and have a little home state rivalry right in this gym. So we're hoping everybody comes out December 7th for that U of I NIU match, and looking forward to seeing everybody in the stands here. Really happy to be here, and I'm hoping to see you guys soon. Thanks. Yeah, I'll take questions, sure.
I'm just curious how many you got up in the air tonight. Is it usually competitive season?
You know what? I mean, you have guys that have been making statements in the room, right? So you've got a general feel, but in terms of guys having spots solidified, we don't want any of that kind of complacency going on. So all 10 spots are up for grabs. I'd say Brock Hudkins, our returning 2-time national qualifier at 125, isn't competing tonight. So if there's anybody that's as good as a lock as anybody, it's probably Brock at this point. But he's working on healing up, and we feel really good about the 2 guys wrestling off for that spot should we need a backup. But I'd say up and down the lineup, no, they're going to need to earn their way right now.
And at Nolan, weight 149, I take it. Is that a busy weight class right now?
It is. It is. We've got a guy on our roster named McCoy Kent at 149, and he's coming in, and he has been making some serious statements in the room right now. So, again, like I said, we've got Nolan really focused on what he's got to do in Romania at this point. So, moving forward right now, it's looking like McCoy Kent's going to be our starter at this time, and then as Nolan returns from Romania, we'll kind of deal him back into the lineup, get him more acclimated back into the folk style season, and see how those 2 progress.
How tricky is that switching over styles for him?
It is tricky. Now, Nolan's a special kid, okay? So he actually enjoys not focusing on the Greco-Roman aspect as much because he found a lot of success out in Akron because of that. He says when he focuses solely on Greco, he kind of overthinks it, and he likes to focus on freestyle and folk style, what we're doing right now, and just go in there really in shape because that's kind of the way he wrestles anyway in freestyle and folk style. He's upper body based, so you know, in terms of really solely focusing on that, there's some things in parterre, top and bottom position that he's focusing on, but mostly he's just doing our training.
It's an easier transition for a kid like that with his style.
It is, that's correct, yes. He wants to throw you anyway, even though you can grab the legs. That's what he wants to do.
How important is it for Baker to kind of take on a leadership role with so many young talents?
It's really important. And Nolan, again, is a special kid. He's a 4.0 kid. He's a world team member, and he's young. So everybody knows that he lives his life right. He trains very hard. He's a fearless competitor. So him bringing the young guys along, it says a lot. It says a lot about him and what we're doing in our program. And the other thing with him is, like I said, the mental aspect. He goes out there and he doesn't place a ton of value on the win or the loss. It's about how he competes, how he prepares, and he just lets it fly. And that's why he experiences a lot of success.
Has he grown a lot over the past year? This is usually quite a leap for those guys as far as.
It is, actually, and he had a slow start last year with us because he came in injured. Wasn't able. The plan was to redshirt him last year, but we kind of thrust him into the lineup in late December, and as he was coming off a foot injury, so he had to do a lot of learning on the fly. He didn't have the luxury that the other guys had in preseason to work on a lot of technique, and his record last year kind of showed that he was slow out of the gate. He didn't start winning until the very end, and then he went out and helped us win the duel against Buffalo with the pin. He went out and helped us. He pinned number 4 Justin Oliver from Central Michigan in the MAC tournament and set a tone for us there. So since then, he's been doing a fine job, and he's just a guy who is so smart. He learns really quickly. Thank you.